Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Handling the Heat. It is a new segment here at IIWR, and we are going to basically not go out and eat all the time and have cheat day reviews. There are times when you need to cook at home, so I am here to show you basic things that you could cook and also things in next episodes, more advanced, more complex things. Now, I am doing this segment because it is shocking. As you go out into the world, you meet all kinds of people, and it never fails to come across people that are just completely inept to anything and everything. So today we are going to be making sunny side up eggs. And with that, you're going to be thinking, oh, come on, everybody knows how to make eggs, glowing eyes. Come on, why are you doing this? And it's like, well, you'd be surprised. You run across people, grown men, quote unquote, grown men, taller than me, bigger than me, and they can't differentiate between a ball peen hammer and a sledgehammer. It's just, it will amaze you how inept, there's the word of the day, some people are. You wonder how they even got that far in life. Maybe it's because they grew up, in a bubble. Mommy just fed them chicken tendies all day. Or, that was it. They were pampered, I guess. It's not like if you know how to make sunny side up eggs, you're a mastermind or anything like that. I'm not the smartest tool in the shed either, but there's just some basic things that I think some people need to know how to do. So this segment is just knowing how to cook basic stuff. And so let's run through the ingredients, shall we? Okay, first things on the list are you're going to need salted butter, which is what I prefer. You could prefer, any other kind of thing, but I prefer using salted butter. Okay. Next up on the list, we have, of course, some eggs, large fresh eggs. Now cooking eggs for your breakfast in the morning, it's a good source of protein. It fills you up, and it's just a good food all around. Now, it may be packed with saturated fat. Let's take a look at the things here. I say saturated fat, but maybe not. Saturated fat, 1.5 grams. Total fat, 5 grams. But it's good fat. It's fat that keeps you going. It's not like candy fat or whatever else kind of fat. So we will be using large fresh eggs, 3 to be exact. That's about what I use. Oh, and look at that. And there's 3 in the carton. So there you are. I am showing the camera here that I am actually using real eggs. And let's see. Oh, and my special little thing I like to use. Wait, actually, there's 2 eggs. I'll be right back. Hang on, I need to go into the cupboard here in DJ Glow and Ice's kitchen. I am running a little low, but this is a sea salt grinder. So get some sea salt with a grinder, preferably. You could just use regular salt too. Doesn't matter. Some sea salt in the grinder form. Not the website, the actual grinder. And black pepper in a grinder. So we'll use that as our spices. And my little extra special kick. When I go to Taco Bell, I always get some mild sauce packets. I always grab a handful. There was one time when, I'm just trifling sometimes. So when I need like some mild sauce when I'm making homemade burritos or whatever, or I need some kick, I'll run into Taco Bell, not buy anything, and just with a bag. I will literally take like a Target bag or a Walmart bag in with me, plastic bag, grab handfuls of mild sauce and just throw them in the bag and just walk out like like I own the place, Yeah, it's not my finest moments, but you know, it helps whenever you're making eggs. I always like to throw 2 packets of mild sauce from Taco Bell onto my eggs. And I got 2 here. One says, "I'm a good listener," on the front. There's always sayings on these mild packets in the front. They always put all different kinds of things. So there's one, "I'm a good listener." And the other one is, "I think you're pretty." So both are total lies. But yeah. So let's get to cooking, shall we? All right, let's... If I could make sure these packets sit on the grate and don't fall in. I'm sorry for the oven. If you're watching the video, I'm sorry the oven kind of looks a little crummy. It is not my fault, okay? There's other people that live in the house, and it's hard to, you know, take care of everybody. So, yeah. So let's get to it. I need a knife first to cut the butter. So first step, you're gonna take the stick of butter or whatever you have, and you will want to get maybe about I'd say about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch of butter cut off the stick. So I need a butter knife, so I will be right back. Okay, so we have our butter knife, all right? Let's do this before we turn on the stove and cook. Now, some people may have an electric stove where you just put the thing on and it just slowly glows and gets hotter. I have a gas stove, so flames actually shoot out from the bottom. So just, some people have a problem when they click the igniter and it'll just keep clicking, like, they'll just do this. See, it starts for me because I know how to work it, but some people will just let it sit and they don't turn it slightly to the left or to the right to ignite the gas to get up into it to, you know, have flames. So just, you know, if you want to learn how to do that, just watch me. It's very simple, but as I've said, some people are inept. So there we are cutting the butter. Let's get it on the camera here. Slice. Let's put the butter right there off to the side for now, and we put it right there in the pan. Now let's start the stove. There we go. Don't sit there and have it do this all day. You're gonna wear out the igniter. So we're gonna bring it down to about we'll do about a medium to low heat, and let's take this knife and put it in the sink, shall we? Okay, so the butter is now melting, and you're gonna pick up the pan and basically move the butter all around the pan. So you got good butter coverage all around the pan here. Yeah. Some people say, oh, butter's bad for you, but butter is the best thing to use when you're cooking, more than margarine or any other thing. I think, because it's natural, it's butter, people have been using it, you know, for ages, and it just gives it a lot more flavor instead of doing vegetable oil or some weird, weak stuff. So, alright. Butter is now all melted over the stove. We'll maybe want to crank up the heat to about almost medium, just a notch down from medium. And let's start grabbing our eggs. Now, some people have problems cracking the eggs. I sometimes do too. Like I said, I'm not perfect, but I'm pretty close. So, you're going to take the egg and you're going to crack it onto the side of the pan that you are using to cook the eggs in. So, just a simple, you don't have to smash it onto the thing, just slightly, just a little, don't be too delicate with it, just a nice stern hitting. such as that. So there's just a little bit of a crack there. You're going to take your thumbnails, basically, the tips of your thumbs, and push on each side, and actually pull on each side of the egg so it opens up and the egg drops into the pan. And now this egg is cooking a little too fast, so we're gonna drop the heat to almost on the low setting there, because we gotta do 3 more eggs. And I don't want the first egg to be cooking while the third egg is still basically a baby, not being cooked yet. So we got the second egg in. We cracked the second egg. And we got the third egg there. Alright, now what I want to do while cooking the eggs is what I like to do. Is you see kind of like this oozing slime kind of thing just around the oak, surrounding the oak. That's like a membrane. So what I like to do is break it up. I will break it up and then take the membrane that's broken off from the yolk and put it off into the side of the pan so that cooks also. Because if you cook it without breaking that, it's just rather slimy when you eat it later, unless you really cook the hell out of your eggs. But yeah, I like to do that. So yeah, that's taking a little longer to cook. Let's crank up the heat about halfway. Sometimes the yolk breaks. My luck, it usually does break. Sometimes I'm lucky and it doesn't. And don't get alarmed if the yolk does break. It's fine. It's all going to the same place. So it just ain't going to be that presentable. You're not going to be winning some award by Gordon Ramsay or something if you don't cook it properly. Okay. Alright, so when you want to know when the eggs are properly cooked, like I said, probably time this. What is this, 2 minutes? And it doesn't take too long for eggs to cook. Just make sure they have a very, like if you're making sunny side up eggs like me, everything has basically a white appearance. There's no more oozy slime on top. You broke it all apart and had it cook on other parts of the pan. And then now this is done. So let's turn off the heat, safety first, and let's transfer the eggs onto the plate you're going to eat them off of. So let's do that. They're going to slide right off because of the butter you put on there, and hopefully you're using a pretty good quality pan. Yeah, fold the flop there and fold it back. There you go. Let's put this pan into the sink. 1 second. Okay, I washed out the butter right away in that pan. Now next thing we're going to want to do is season the eggs. So grab your sea salt grinder. Very little left in this one, but it will suffice for these eggs. So let's do 3 cranks. So let's count together with me. 1, 2, 3. All right. Now let's do the same thing with the black pepper grinder. 1, 2, 3. Actually, let's do 4 here. 5. I like my pepper. Now let's take our Taco Bell packets. This is how DJ Glowin' Ice makes his eggs. So you could skip this step if you want, but I always, whenever I open these packets, it's never a clear cut right off to the side. There's always like a hangnail that carries on halfway down the packet. They need to make these more easier user-friendly. I think. I always get the sauce packet hangnails. Alright. Okay, and we are almost done with the ingredients. There is one more thing you got to have with your sunny side up eggs to make sure they are really sunny and bright, and that is a smile. So big smiles, everybody, and enjoy your sunny side up eggs. That's gonna do it today for Handling the Heat. I am DJ Glowing Ice, and I will see you next time in the kitchen. And that is it.